Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're on Caen and I am in the captured KV-1, and you're probably going to see a lot more of the captured KV-1 in the near future. I really like this tank, and the fact that it can train German and Russian crews is kind of icing on the cake, and I'll probably be training more Russian crews than I anticipated. I have gotten the Object 416, I'll probably talk about that in its own video, but I'm not probably going to continue on that line. I really don't like the line, and I think it's the first time I've given up on a line, but I'm going to talk about it in its own video. So I'm going to be restructuring my efforts and probably focusing on different Russian lines in the longer term future, which means that I have to play catch up with my top tier Russian tanks. So, and I'm also of course need to probably train out more German crews as well, so I'm probably going to make use of this thing very heavily. This video we're bottom tier. It's a tier 7 game and we're a tier 5 tank. It still holds its own. The main thing in a bottom tier game is trying to avoid being shot at as much as possible. It's a tier 5 tank after all, and there's a big step up in the potency of the guns from tier 5 to tier 7. So this thing does whatever 85, 86 points of damage per shot. Now it can penetrate tier 7s, and tier 6s even. But in tier 7s, a lot of the cases you'll be using premium ammunition to get the penetration, particularly if you're in front of them, which is not a place you sort of want to be. But the tank isn't, well, it's mobile enough for a tier 5 heavy. It's actually quite mobile, but it's not the most mobile tank in the battlefield. So I'm keeping with a couple of tanks that have gotten over the top here, and this is often a corner that's left undefended by the teams that spawn on the eastern side of the map. That T-37 is making a run on the SU-100, and I'm going to have to assist the SU-100 because the SU-100 is a very slow rate of fire, so if he missed with one shot he wasn't going to get a second one. And this tank has joined them, so I've got to get rid of him as well. So I've got the rate of fire, and the artillery has just dropped one next to me. It had no effect at all. Now, there are not a lot of tanks that artillery could drop that close to. Now, I reckon it's probably the M44. I reckon if the SU-14-1 had dropped around that close to me, I would have noticed, even in a KV-1. But it's a great tank. The armour holds up really well, particularly if you angle it and wiggle it. The turret is a problem. The sides of the turret are really crap, very easily penetrated. And the turret cheeks are as well. Though not as many people know about the turret cheeks, but if you keep the turret moving and you just keep wiggling it back and forth, you will bounce a few shots. It is of course difficult sometimes to do it because the rate of fire is so fast. The temptation is just to point the turret at the enemy and just hope let the DPM do the work. Having trouble there penetrating the front of the T-25AT with regular ammunition. That's a pretty heavily armoured tank. And depending on what gun it has, it could do a significant proportion of my hit points and damage if it puts a round through me, because it'll do like 200, 240 points of damage. We've an MT-25, but it just didn't give him enough lead, didn't have quite enough room. There's an SU-100, the enemy SU-100, we missed that shot, fell short I think, and we didn't put a round into him. The MT-25 is now holed up, and there's an IS over there. We don't have much of a shot on the IS, but it is a viable shot with this tank. Okay, we'll put that one over. We didn't quite let that one went over as well, and we put that one in, but it's that would be I think it would be difficult with the Russian versions of the KV-1. I mean, the guns in the KV-1 are actually pretty decent. Some people even like the 57mm, although I didn't. I think the penetration was just lacking. I prefer a gun with good penetration. But this gun has the penetration. It has decent penetration. It has a high velocity round, so you don't have to give an awful lot of lead. Now somebody got rid of the tank destroyer there, and he did remove well over half my health with that shot. So it was just as well that my allies took him out of the picture, because I didn't have to run the gauntlet of fire along here. Now, the more I advanced, the more difficult for the tank destroyer would have been, because the more of it itself it would have had to expose. to get a shot at me, and therefore the more chances the guys behind me would have of killing it. But we're doing pretty well at this point. And we've kind of cleared the northern side. We've spotted one of the artilleries. It's the M44, and he is making his attempt to escape. Now, I just fire one on the move there, and another one on the move, because he's going to get into cover pretty quickly, and he's gone anyway. He's been taken out. So now we have the Su-14-1. He's really slow, very big, very cumbersome. So once we get a line of sight, we shouldn't have too much trouble hitting him. So we have a couple of rounds successfully in, and just bounced that one, and we should, no, that didn't finish him off, that was a low roll actually, and that one finished him off. So he's gone, and that is it. All the easy targets now gone. There's 2 remaining heavy tanks. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this tank. It's a complete beast when it's top tier, because when it is top tier, it has no trouble penetrating tier 5s. And you have a very rapid rate of fire, and it's a much more reliable and accurate gun than the Russian guns for the KV-1. So you'll do better than you would even on a regular KV-1. Maybe not with the top gun, depends on the way your style of play too. But this gun, yeah, it does very well at top tier. But it was a respectable tank, it's a support tank at bottom tier, because the accuracy and range of the gun is such that it's viable in a support role, so you just need to be careful to kind of stay out of. There's another 240 odd points gone from that Tiger P, but again it's a top tier tank, and it's top tier with a big gun, and it's going to do that kind of damage. However, it is being assailed from all sides, so I'm trying to track it in place actually, so that I can get the assistance damage as well. And we're putting in the rounds now because it has stopped moving, and there's only 1 remaining tank, and he's gone as well, so that's it, it's game over. 20 damaging ribbons, 3 kills. We only got 2 assisted, but then you wouldn't expect to get much in the line of assisted on a heavy tank, especially a Russian heavy tank, because the view ranges are pretty much non-existent. Tracking damage is worth going for though. So that gets us a first class mastery. Don't get any other significant medals, but we came number 1 by experience, and we came number 1 by experience in a tier 7 game. So this is a bottom tier tank that has come top tier, and I think this is a bottom tier tank that you could see top tier quite a few times. It has that potential, and definitely you will see more of it. So I hope it's also probably a tank that will be relatively easy. It seems to me relatively easy to get an ace tanker. We're getting a first class mastery for 1400 experience. It's not the lowest I've gotten a first class mastery in terms of XP, but given the capabilities of the tank, I think it's probably a relatively easy enough tank to get an ace tanker or first class masteries in. I seem to have gotten quite a few of them already, so I would expect to see the ace shortly. Enough praising the tank, it's time to go. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you did. Please give the channel a subscription if you can. And I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.